I'm going to read just a brief passage that introduces Tori to Jebel Barkel for the first time. And the characters involved are James Crawford, who is an African-American archaeologist, PhD in the U.S., who is in Africa, who went to Africa 20 years ago and never left. He is excavating an archaeological site at Jebel Barkel. And the other character I've already mentioned is Maud. And of course the main character, Tori. 16 September, Jebel Barkel, Sudan. 0700 hours. Inside the rattling red Explorer, the pancakes Tori scarfed down for breakfast keep threatening to heave. Off in the distance, 360 degrees around, the lumpy sand blurs into hazy sky. "You're sure this is a road?" she asks. The professor talks through the white cloth swathed around his whole head. "If we're moving more than 15 kilometers an hour, it's a road." "And you're sure that thing works?" She nodded at the GPS attached to the dash. "One has to trust something," he says. Tori isn't sure about that one. Closing her eyes to fight the nausea, she hangs onto her door and tries to roll with the SUV as it bounces along over scattered rocks, spraying sand in its wake. When she opens them again, she almost yelps with relief. Through her dark lenses, a blackwater lake shimmers off to the left, dotted with palm trees and waiting cranes. Maybe the professor will agree to stop long enough for her stomach to settle. She's about to suggest it when the lake and trees evaporate and the cranes become the scattered parts of a car. Heat mirage. And beyond it, another, a crooked tabletop of a mountain rising from the flat. Minutes pass and the mountain doesn't disappear. Tori sits up straighter. From the rubble around its base, plumes of smoke swirl skyward. Soon she catches the faint smell of roasted meat, hears goats bleating, and sees scurrying movement among patches of white. The rubble becomes tense, propped on poles, the movement, hundreds of human beings spread out across the sand. Here and there loom pyramids in different stages of ruin. "Many more people are on their way," says the professor, "to attend the upcoming feast of the double cobra. It used to happen twice a year around the equinoxes. This one will be the first in quite some time." "Why were the feasts suspended?" Tori asks. "You must ask that question of Kandeki, the woman I have brought you to meet." The professor pulls the Explorer between two beater trucks, thus closing one gap in the circle of assorted vehicles around the perimeter of the camp. "Welcome to Jebel Barkel," he says, "center of the universe and birthplace of the divine." I speak from the Nubian point of view, of course. You'd better drink more water, by the way. The night before, when she checked in with Maud, the older woman's normally controlled voice had slid up the scale to shrill when Tori mentioned the plans for today's trip. "No," Maud said, "I want you to stay in Khartoum. There's something going on at that mountain place." "And what would that be?" Tori asked. "I'm sorry, I've been squeezing blood from a stone trying to upgrade the intel. It's all level 1 and 2 rumor at the moment." "Tell me what you've got." "Give me another day, Victoria." "I can't. The invitation's tomorrow from a potential asset, a guy who knows everything." "Okay. Does he know that there's a demonstration taking shape at that mountain, which is highly likely to bring out the government militias in full force?" "You give me 2 days, and I'll either shoot your rumors down or substantiate them. That's my job."
That gives a good flavor of all the characters in there. Tori is
and the mother-daughter
sure she knows
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Maud, the head of intelligence, is saying she's not getting enough.
Right.
So when in the process of writing this, you developed a publishing company.
That's right.
And so this was the first book that came out of it?
It's actually the second book. There's a nonfiction book